The mess hall of Station Kepler 7 hummed with the usual evening chaos. Dozens of species from across the galaxy clustered around tables, translators creating a symphony of overlapping conversations. In the corner, hunched over a mop bucket that had seen better days, Sam worked methodically across the scuffed floors. He was the only human on the station, and had been for 3 years. Ever since the colony ship he had been on suffered catastrophic failure, Kepler 7 had been the nearest refuge. The other survivors had moved on, found passage to Earth or the outer colonies. Sam stayed. Single father, no money for transport, no family waiting anywhere that mattered. The janitorial work paid enough to rent a closet-sized quarters and keep his daughter fed. That was all that mattered. "Daddy!" The voice cut through the din, high-pitched and excited. Sam looked up to see Rico bounding toward him, weaving between tables with practiced ease. She was Felixian, a species that resembled Earth cats if cats walked upright, with large eyes shifting between violet and gold, and a tail that expressed emotion more eloquently than most faces. She was 7 standard years old, orphaned when her colony transport was raided by pirates 2 years ago. Sam had found her hiding in a ventilation shaft while cleaning. Half-starved, terrified, speaking a language his translator took 3 days to calibrate. He'd meant to turn her over to station authorities, to do the proper thing. But she had looked up at him with impossibly large eyes and whispered a single word his translator rendered as please. So Sam became a father of 2. One human daughter back on Earth with her mother, and one alien child who needed him here. "Slow down, kiddo," Sam said, catching her as she nearly slipped on the wet floor. "What's got you all wound up?" Rico's tail swished in agitation. "I can't have food anymore," she said. "My credit chip is blocked." Sam's stomach dropped. He'd known this was coming. His pay had been docked last week over bureaucratic nonsense about improper interspecies guardianship forms. He'd been stretching their credits thin, rationing, hoping to make it to the next pay cycle. "It's okay," he said, keeping his voice steady. "I've got my meal token. We'll share." "But you already shared breakfast and lunch with me." Rico's ears flattened in distress. "You haven't eaten." "I'm fine," he said. Humans could go longer without food than Felixians. Their metabolisms burned faster, smaller bodies needing constant fuel. Rico needed to eat every 6 hours or she'd get sick. Sam could push 30-40 hours if he had to. He'd done it before. They reached the serving line. Sam handed over his token, the last one until next week, and received a standard human meal tray. Protein paste molded to resemble meat, a scoop of carbohydrate mash, and a vitamin supplement cube. The synthesizers could adjust for different species, but that required credits Sam didn't have. At a quiet table in the back, Sam slid the tray toward Rico. "Daddy, no. This is human food. I can't eat this." She was right. The protein base would make her sick. Sam had counted on her refusing so he could at least eat. But looking at her now, hands gripping the table, trying not to show her hunger, something in him cracked. "Wait here," he said, walking back through the cafeteria to the staff-only kitchen storage area. His janitor credentials gave him access everywhere. One of the few perks of his job, the Felixian food supplements were kept in a temperature-controlled locker. Expensive, specialized. He grabbed a pouch, then another, then a whole box. Alarms would sound eventually. Station security would investigate. He'd probably lose his job. Might even face charges he didn't care about. When he returned, Rico's eyes widened. "Eat." Sam tore open a pouch and squeezed the contents onto the tray. Small silvery fish, her favorite. "This is stealing," she whispered. "Yeah," he said. "It is. You'll get in trouble." "Why?" "Because you're hungry, kiddo. You're a child and you need to eat. I'm your dad, and that means I make sure you're taken care of, even if the universe is trying to make it hard." Tears welled in Rico's eyes. "But what about you? You gave me your meal token. You haven't eaten in 2 days." "I know," Sam said. "I can smell it." Felixian's senses are sharp. Hard to hide things from them. I'm human. We're stubborn. We can go a while without food. But more than that, where I come from, there's an old saying, a parent eats last. Everything else is secondary. "That's strange," Rico said, wonder in her voice. "Yeah, well, humans are strange. Now eat, please, before station security shows up and we have to explain this." She didn't need to be told twice. Rico ate with the focus of someone who had known real hunger. Sam watched, bone-deep satisfaction warming him, despite his empty stomach. The alarms eventually sounded. Security arrived. Sam was escorted to the administrator's office, leaving Rico in the care of a concerned Centurion medic. But word spread. The story of the human janitor who stole food for an alien child spread through the station like wildfire. By morning, his charges were dropped. An anonymous donor had paid off his docked wages. 3 advocacy groups offered him better-paying positions. The Felixian embassy fast-tracked Rico's adoption papers. Cafeteria staff began setting aside supplements for the human who had shown them what it meant to be a parent. Sam never took credit. He was just a janitor, a single dad doing what any parent would do. But across Kepler 7 and eventually the wider galaxy, the story became legend. Humanity's defining trait wasn't technology, warfare, or ambition. It was their absolute, unshakable refusal to let their children go hungry, even if it meant going hungry themselves. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.